A lot of my clients will push back and say, I don't need to be on LinkedIn. I don't really see the justification for being there, especially on a regular basis. So let me say this: LinkedIn as a platform, if it were a country, it's the third largest country in the world behind only India and China. There are over 630 million active accounts. So therefore, to be on this platform gives you instantaneous, nearly ubiquitous universal access to a number of potential stakeholders that can benefit you professionally and in your career. Anybody who's a hiring manager or HR manager in an organization you're interested in, other individuals who are peers in your industry or profession. It's a way to promote yourself as a subject matter expert and join professional groups. There's a significant amount of value that comes from building out your compelling profile on LinkedIn. So we're going to walk through the basic free service because there's a paid service, but I'm going to walk through the feature functionality that at a minimum you can take away today and start looking at your LinkedIn profile with an entirely fresh perspective. So let's talk a little bit about your profile. In terms of, if you look at the very top, your summary, right below the picture of you, there's 3 opportunities to leverage LinkedIn by building out an even more powerful brand. So the first is your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what you do, why you do it, what you're passionate about. And please let me know at the end of our webinar, I'll share my contact details. Let me know if you'd like my personal branding ebook to give you a sense of your elevator pitch. But that goes right at the top of your profile. Underneath that, think about your profile being read by somebody who may conceptually be interested in cultivating a relationship with you. Every human being is hardwired the same way. So we all think about relationships in terms of what's in it for me. So from somebody else's perspective, you message your summary as a set of solutions to the problems that they encounter. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out, it's a database. LinkedIn. So you want to seed your profile with enough keywords, 1 and 2 keyword combinations, so that people understand what you do, who you do it for, the value you bring. And that's seeding your profile so that you can be most easily found by those people who have a vested interest and perhaps a need for your services as an employee, as a consultant, in whatever capacity. So you want to think about the search algorithms that are retrieving you and embed into your profile significant keywords about you. So there's another aspect of LinkedIn that I don't think enough people fully appreciate and utilize. And that's in your profile at the very top, underneath your summary, is an opportunity to upload either PowerPoints of work you've done, videos of you in action, and nothing sells yourself more than demonstrable portfolio of work. Pictures, videos, PowerPoints tell compelling messages. So use your summary as a place to upload relevant examples of your work, salesmanship in print, so to speak. Next, groups. There is a powerful opportunity to join the groups that are relevant to your career and professional pursuits, your vocation, the industry or industries you serve. So what you want to think, and I do when I audit my clients' existing LinkedIn profile to make strategic recommendations, we go through the groups function quite strategically with a keen eye view towards building out a network of professional relationships in industries you're in, and or industries you want to be in. And once we get that correct balance of groups that you're engaged with, we start out small, maybe 2 to 3 or 4 groups. We start to get you actively engaged. Listen to those words, actively engaged at the groups that you have an affiliation in and membership with. Get to know the people you're connected to. So less is more. Instead of casting a broad net that only skims the surface, if you want to go troll fishing, so to speak, for valuable relationships, and I'm not talking about networking, because that's not even a term that applies to human beings, but if you want to drill down into this online expansive universe, cast a narrower net and dive deeper to truly get to know the people you are connected with, and oh, by the way, also want to connect with. It's that whole notion of LinkedIn is a powerful resource to expand out your influence. And your influence is predicated on degrees of connectivity. So you start out at the core center of yourself and your immediate primary first level connections, and you start to cultivate those relationships and add value by suggesting and facilitating introductions to those people out to higher levels of further levels of degree of connectedness. Ultimately, if you think of that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, where everybody knows everybody in the world by 6 degrees of relationship, emulate that way of thinking to expand your network within LinkedIn. So nothing sings relationship cultivation more than being of value and service to others in mutually beneficial symbiotic relationships so that you can start to be connected to the people who you're connected to. And that's how you get across a raging torrential storm of, the stream, raging white water, is you step across boulder to boulder to boulder. So that's what degrees of connection do, is allow you to cross over from one side of your journey, your career journey, to the other side. So connections matter. Start to do searches to see people in your geographic area by county. You can look for people by profession, but the search feature functionality allows you to start doing exploration into the key contexts you want to cultivate. Pardon me. So there's primary, secondary connections, and you filter your searches based on the degree of relationship connection. But let me just point out, with regard to feature functionality within LinkedIn, most people are not utilizing their accomplishments. And the accomplishments are a set of opportunities, projects, courses, publications to list out the body of work. In other words, think about it this way. Your accomplishments is telling a story about your successes, challenges you faced throughout your career, and the actions that you took, and demonstrable, provable results achieved throughout your career. And no place is better to start to think about that than your accomplishments, whether you're a high school student, college student, graduate, whether you're new in your career or even well established, it doesn't matter. From a career trajectory perspective, your accomplishments is an area to list out your success. And so you want to think about your accomplishments as maybe being a certification, an accreditation, a course. Those are accomplishments. So blogging, a blog post in LinkedIn, 400 to 600 words maximum, is a way to build your subject matter expertise on a regular recurring basis. You can post it through the homepage as you create a new post, or you can write a longer article if you'd like. And then get this, you can socialize that same post or article that you've published to the main homepage. You can post that to all of the groups that you're cultivating relationships in, to really build out your subject matter expertise as a thought leader. And so just over time, your archive, you're building out an archive, a body of work, by publishing these insights that you're sharing with your LinkedIn universe of connections. So that's what you want to do. So here's something I want to point out. Your endorsements are a start in the right direction, but they're not the sum total of how you want to get other people to acknowledge your awesomeness. So this is what an endorsement is. It's somebody who's connected to you saying, for one of the skills that you've listed yourself on your profile, they're going, hey, well done. Yeah. This individual knows value engineering, or this individual knows management. So what you want to do is think about this. LinkedIn does this for you. LinkedIn randomly sends opportunities to your connections to give you an endorsement or a thumbs up on the skills you've embedded or listed in your profile. Are you strategically managing that? Okay. But understand that these skills in your profile that you've created that people are endorsing is a way to build out something that we talk about in personal brand cultivation called your unique value proposition. What do you do that's different than others, special? How do you position yourself as somebody with your brand that through the interactions that other people have with you is simultaneously three things: unique, invaluable, memorable. How do you do that? Well, understand that there's a deeper level of value that other people can attribute to you. And those are recommendations. Let me just say this: whether you're an organization I consult with, and we're talking about your clients, whether you're one of my coaching clients, doesn't matter. I tell them it doesn't matter what you say about yourself. It doesn't matter what I say about myself. What matters is the individuals who have gone into LinkedIn that are connected to you. They have to be connected to these people and give you a recommendation, which is their way of saying, yes, for this thing that you claim that you're an expert at, I vouch for them. And so one of the things that I typically do when I'm working with somebody on an advanced search, job search as a senior level executive, or I'm looking to build up organizations archive of client testimonials, I want to go to their homepage on LinkedIn, their profile page, or their company page, their organization page, and I want to see their recommendations. And I want to read through the recommendations and make sure those recommendations that you've received are in alignment with how you want to portray yourself and also the services you offer and products you deliver to market. So it's all about relationship. Let me just say this: networking is not a real word for human beings. Networking is a word to assign a connection between computers. That's not relationships. So what you want to do is think about LinkedIn as an online tool in your virtual branding arsenal to build out stronger relationships and have conversations with other people in your group discussions, online, in LinkedIn, interaction. Somebody may see a post that you've written or an article and they'll comment on it. Thank them and engage with them. And so when you're sending somebody an invitation, most people know this, but just for the audience at large for today's webinar, do not send a generic invite to connect. So here's the thing: on your smartphone, if you send an invitation to connect, it doesn't give you the opportunity to customize your note. But you do it on a PC, you have an opportunity to customize. There should be a rationale or an explanation to the recipient as to why you're reaching out to start a relationship. Think about it that way. Connect, connect, connect. Don't think about it as a connect. Think about it as an invitation to somebody to start a relationship journey together. And then when you customize your message, you're explaining that. Thank people for connecting with you. It's powerful stuff. But the other thing is, once you start to do this thing called cultivating your personal brand through LinkedIn and cultivating relationships, you need to check your notifications on a regular basis. So when you go into LinkedIn, you click on notifications, it populates a daily feed of your activity. So in LinkedIn, when you go to the top right-hand corner, there's a drop-down menu, and it's called Work. And I just want to point out at a high level what that means. When you look at the different applications or feature functionality embedded in that work area, there's quite a few things that it gives you power. You'll see that there's groups. You'll see that there's learning, which is the old lynda.com that LinkedIn embedded in their online training and professional development. So there's ample business services that are right under that work tab. So if you want freelancers, you go to Profinder and you can find people who do work for other individuals and other organizations on a contract basis. When you go to the education, so this is actually searching the consultants in Profinder, and then you can go and you can utilize that work feature functionality. But I want to point out at a higher level why all of this matters. Why is it that these online tools like LinkedIn specifically are so powerful for building out your brand? Well, I want to end today's webinar with a reminder or an immersion into why your brand matters for your success. Your brand is a powerful tool to convey things about yourself to other people. It makes it easier for them to summarize or condense their understanding of what it is about you that makes you tick, that you have to offer, your summary of your background, skills, capabilities, successes. It presents you, your brand, when done effectively, especially through LinkedIn, to the broadest audience possible. It allows you to present your professional attributes, qualities, characteristics, and it allows other people, when you cultivate a powerful brand to connect with you through an understanding of your brand. It's a sign of your perceived quality and prestige. And in a nutshell, it helps people to organize their understanding of and thoughts about you. So, what are the challenges that are going on, especially in light of a continued global pandemic and everybody is forced to work virtually and remotely? So, we miss out on that face to face interaction. Well, people know how to network, but remember what I said, networking is not relationship cultivation. So, people are going out there saying virtually, maybe through LinkedIn now, want to buy some software, want to buy some software. It's really an offensive approach. So, it's hard when you are feeling the stress of navigating your career, being successful professionally, to stop a moment and get out of that mindset of what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what's in it for me, and be a servant master instead of being a hunter to go hunt people, to be a relationship cultivator or farmer who, through LinkedIn and building your brand, is dropping little seeds of relationship encounter to cultivate a crop of long-term, valuable win-win relationships. So that's the notion. Everybody's burnt out on networking because, again, networking is not relationship cultivation anyway. And there's more competition. Everybody is going everywhere online to the extent that we all acknowledge it's overkill. However, there's another aspect of challenges around branding, which is people are commingling or their work-life balance is kind of overlapping their social engagements, their community work, their involvement, their participation in activities outside of work. That's starting to be blended together as 5 generations of American networker come together to try and forge relationships. Matures, boomers, Generation Xers, millennials, and Gen Z. So there's a lot of stuff happening. But when constructed effectively, a compelling personal brand helps you achieve value, but you've got to invest in it. So you achieve the maximum value from building a strong brand when you're able to get out and effectively market it to the world. And LinkedIn, as I said, is a tremendously powerful, ubiquitous, universal tool to do it, but you can create value for yourself and thus fuel a powerful brand many, many different ways. But fundamentally, at the heart of this, it's empathy. It's emotional intelligence. It's caring about other people and conveying why I'm unique and valuable, memorable with respect to not what I want to get out of knowing you, but I want to channel into a relationship to add value so that we both benefit from our time together. So I wanted to say thank you for taking time out of your crazy hectic day to listen in on this webinar and for attending. I'm going to share my contact details. I'd like to offer you an opportunity to have a complimentary personal brand assessment that we can do together. So my contact details are just about to come up. Thank you for your time. The best way to reach me is twofold. You can email me, ethan@thechazingroup.com. You can also call me or text me. And take a moment to check out our website, thechazingroup.com, where I've uploaded a bunch of videos on career and professional development. Thank you. Here's to your future personal, professional brand success.